brave and determined men, though some would say reckless, are planning to row 3,000 miles across the ocean in the Talisker Whisky Atlantic Challenge 2019. Starting in December at La Gomera in the Canaries, they'll finish their non-stop epic journey at the Caribbean island of Antigua in January. The Buoys, all novices, have committed themselves to a rigorous training programme and are targeting to complete this daunting voyage in just 40 days and nights. Marlow Rowing Club is their training ground, and Marlow Regatta is a great opportunity for them to seek publicity and sponsorship.
All the best to you.
Buoys, myself, Kevin Luff, Nick Parslow, Frankie Paul Smith. Frank was with us when we were in Antigua. He was my best man. And my son, Reese Luff. That's going to be wonderful rowing with my son and two mates, close mates now, so it's going to be something else. It's so exciting.
Paralympian gold medalist Naomi Riches is their mentor and coach.
It is a mammoth task to get them ready for that length of row, but I think they've all got the right attitude, they've all got the right passion, and they're all nutty enough to do it.
Hopefully our weather will be good enough for us to row 24 hours a day non-stop, and I don't really want to be sleeping in there more than I need to. It's not very big, is it? So hopefully we get pods of dolphins swimming along with us, and hopefully we'll be swimming with them.
I've always been quite fit because I used to play rugby, so I've been quite fit, but doing this training is really tough. I've got a lot fitter. It's different aspects to it to what I used to do in rugby. A lot more upper body strength as well in rowing. So, but yeah, it's coming on quite good, well, to be fair. So I'm nearly there, nearly ready.
They're doing really, really well. I'm really impressed with them. I'm impressed with their commitment. They're just so keen to do it and do it well.
I do like a challenge. I've cycled John O'Groats to Land's End. I've climbed up Ben Nevis. But this is the longest one.
What attracted you to this challenge?
That's a very, very difficult one to explain. Probably an act of lunacy, I think, and bravado. But it's something that so few people have done.
Kevin, how did it all start?
Well, I got married in Antigua last January. We went down to Nelson's dockyard and we saw the Romanian boat just pulled in. We thought, wow, we fancy doing something like that in a spur of the moment thing. Then we got to, as we walked away, we met up with Carson, who was the race CEO, and he basically talked us into it. Thanks, Carson. And we saw the boat, Atlantic 4, which was a Romanian team. It was its second crossing. All Been to No Monkeys did it 2 years before. We looked at it, got in contact with Atlantic Campaigns, saying we were after a boat, and it all matched up, all came together, and we ended up buying the Atlantic 4, which is now our Sarah Lou, named after my wife, as she's been a big part of it. She's a 15 member.
Immediately I met them and I thought, yes, I definitely want to help these guys. They're all nutty enough to want to do it for a start.
There you go, look, it's all yours. Come on, smile for the camera, boy.
And I'm very much a believer that rowing has something for everybody. I started rowing in 2004 and ended up finishing my rowing career with a lovely gold medal from 2012. Ta-da! But I'm visually impaired and I was no good at sport at school, and I finally found a sport that enabled me to be successful. And I just think rowing has got something for everybody, and I wanted to give them the opportunity to do really well with what they were passionate about.
Tell us about your training for the event.
So we're quite lucky because David Lloyd's sponsor us, so we've got gym membership seats down at David Lloyd's, and we do 2 to 3 sessions a week together. We've got personal training sessions, and then we also go on top of that as well. We also go down to the gym. We try to go about 4 or 5 times a week, and we go down to Weymouth quite a lot, take the boat down to Weymouth and go on the sea. It can be quite tough sometimes because it gets really choppy down there, but yeah, it's going really well. And also we do yoga on a Tuesday night as well, which is quite good. Get my dad a bit more flexible and Nick a bit more flexible as well.
Weekends out on the boat or training. We've got to do qualifying hours at sea. 154 I think we've done at the minute, with a couple of overnight rows, which were fantastic. Just keep going. I think the most training you'll get is when we do it when we leave La Gomera on December the 12th.
So the Buoys have been training according to the Talisker challenge sort of training programme, and they're doing a great job of following that to the letter because they're so passionate and so determined. But what I've been doing is meeting with them about once a month to go through technical exercises, technical challenges. Rowing is about using as little energy as possible to create the most speed in every stroke that you take, and they've got a lot of strokes to get them across that ocean. During the month they are WhatsApping me their videos of themselves rowing, and I'm able to give them the little technical hints, you know, so to Kev, get your body over, get your hands past your knees, and to Nick it's all about sitting up at the finish, and for Reese it's try not to muscle it. I know he's a strong young lad but he doesn't want to muscle it. And for Frank it's just making sure again he gets that rock over. So everybody's got their little thing they need to work on. I've rowed in some quite challenging conditions myself, and I have a bit of an understanding of the mental, I suppose the mental side, not just them being completely mental, but the mental side as in the ability to cope with the pressure, with the strain, with the stress.
All good wishes to the Buoys.
Frankie, can you show us around the boat?
Yeah, of course, come in here. This is one of the sleeping apartments, and in here we have all the communications, the FM radio. We can plug through our iPods and everything for it to play music in. Here, all our depths and the distance we're going, how fast we're rowing at a time, and obviously the direction. This is navigation here. We can put all in our points in where we want to waypoints, and we put them in, and that's where the auto helm will take the boat along the route. Under the rear are the batteries, and these are all the electrics for different lights, etc., different cabins and different products on the boat itself. And obviously the solar panels on the top are charging the batteries on a daily basis. And obviously we've got the VHF radio. Once we're out in the water, a satellite phone, which we have to have 2 of those. One's directly for the Talisker Whisky people, and one's for personal use to phone home and speaking to family and friends. And this is where 2 people sleep, usually one at a time, because one's rowing, the other one's resting, 2 hours on, 2 hours off. Footwell here just for sitting in really, and as you can see it's quite small, but this is a big cabin compared to the front cabin.
Frankie, in a way this is a bit like a space mission, and everybody wants to know, where do you go to the toilet?
Well, basically it's a bucket, so you bucket and chuck it, and that's what it's all about. You wee in a bottle and you throw it overboard and you bucket and chuck it for the rest of it. I think it's a bit embarrassing for everybody to do it the first time, but once it's been done, no one takes any care, because all we want to do is to get from one end to the other.
3,000 miles. His bonding is important on this trip. So how's that shaping up?
To be fair, we're doing quite a few things together. We've bonded quite well. We've got a few activities planned as well. We're going to go, hopefully, up to Wales and do a bit of whitewater rafting and a bit of zip wiring and stuff to try and bond as a team and get to know each other a lot better. Well, to be fair, I know my dad quite well, so it's all right. And Frankie I know quite well because I've known Frankie for a few years. We've done a lot of scooter rallies together.
We've done various courses. We've done courses for navigation, first aid, seamanship, survival. So all of those things taken into account. And Talisker Whisky, the organisers, make sure that we are safe to go and do it. And they've been fantastic in all this. They've very, very well organised.
We self-funded the boat. We bought the whole boat ourselves. We're looking for corporate sponsors to try and help. It's a big commitment, but that's what we are looking for. If someone can help us with some corporate sponsorship, that'd be brilliant. We've raised so far £9,000 for charity.
So the boys are rowing for 2 charities, Macmillan being one of them, which is a very well-known charity, an incredible charity that impacts so many people's lives in a positive way, and many people can relate to. But also InVision. Now InVision is a local charity to Marlow, and is set up by a lovely lady called Liz Charter, and she asked me to be involved as their patron because InVision raises money for children with infantile nystagmus, and that's one of my eye conditions amongst many, one of which being struggling with bright light. So if I'm squinting, I do apologise. But yeah, so raising awareness of and funds to research nystagmus, which impacts 1 in 1,000 people and can be picked up very early on. I was diagnosed when I was 8 weeks old.
We're raising money for Macmillan, and as an ex-cancer sufferer myself, I realise how important that is for everybody, and also to know that when you've been through it, there are a lot more things that you can do. You know, it's not just something that you sit back and afterwards say, I'm not going to do anything. No, embrace it, go for it.
They really are embracing everything. They're sponges. They're taking it all in and they're wanting to know more and learn more. And I'm really, really impressed with them. I'm really proud of them, and they haven't even set off yet.
Yeah, so if anyone out there can help us with some corporate stuff, that'll be brilliant. 4 close friends. We will be, or we won't be at the end of it, one of the two.